Hello. Hoping this is working. It says I'm live, so I think we're on. I'm going to wait a little bit to make sure people can get in and going. I have heard from my cool hip pastor friends that the thing to do to be cool and hip as a pastor is to walk around holding your phone in front of you and just talking to it. And so that's what we're doing today, and you might be able to hear me amidst the wind. But this is just kind of a check-in time to see how you're doing, how you're holding up. I believe this is week 3 we're in now, so we'll just wait a little bit, see if anybody gets on here. But otherwise, let me know later with a comment. What can we be praying for? What can we be thinking about on your behalf? So this is just a time to check in. We've been doing Wednesday time using The Walk, which is Adam Hamilton's study. And we've been enjoying that, but I thought it would be good to sort of switch to a time of check-in and just that question of how are you doing? So let me know below, and we'll be happy to pray for anything that you might need. Just some things I was thinking about as we are in this time of social distancing and what have you. I know it is really difficult to follow the instructions to stay home. And one thing you are able to do is I hope you can walk appropriately distancing as you need to and get some fresh air. One of the things I will say, hey Leah, is that we have to follow these rules. But we also need to remember that it's not just for us, It's difficult to be able to do this, but we do it because we know not only are we keeping ourselves safe and healthy, but we're doing it for everybody else. We know that we can carry this thing around even not even having symptoms, and pass it on to somebody else who could really have symptoms from it. So we do this not for ourselves only, but for everybody else. And it sort of made me think about Jesus and his ministry, he was often thinking about others before himself. And this is, of course, hey Pat, this is, of course, a cornerstone of his life. And as we get towards Holy Week here next week, his suffering and death. It was not just for him, but for everybody else's sake. So we do this sort of as a communal practice to live like Jesus did. So the other thing I wanted to leave you with is sort of a challenge as we navigate this time. And that challenge is this: to be creative. And what do I mean by that? Well, in times of crisis, I was doing a little research. In times of crisis, oftentimes our left brain, if you've ever heard of left brain or right brain, our left brain is really initiated in terms of how we process information. There's so much information coming in, and we are analyzing it and looking at all the data, and we know that there's a lot of information coming in. Hey James, good to see you. And so our left brain is constantly processing information, and our right brain is the problem-solving side, the creative side. But the problem is, at a time like this, there's not much problem-solving we can do to solve what's going on. And so our right brain kind of gets crippled into not even knowing how to handle this. And so I would invite you, even if you're not that creative of a person, to find something to create, to put your hands to work, your brain to work, to make something, even if it's just little doodles. I think that is good because it gives us a sense of control in a time when, boy, we don't have control, and we're learning that for certain. So that's my challenge for you: is be creative. You could draw things, you could write a song, you can make stupid videos like I've been doing, anything. So I just want to kind of wrap up, see if there's anything you need us to pray for. How are you doing? How's things going? Hello, other James. We have multiple Jameses. We have multiple Brians. We'll see how well I'm doing at this walking around the church thing. Good to hear you're hanging in there, James. I'm doing pretty well, There are people that are laughing at me that I'm just walking around with a phone in front of my face, but hey, it works. I've been taking really long walks in the evening, and I'm not really one that's been known to walk, but it's been really good for me. It's also been really good for my wife, who gets about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from me every night, and so that's been really good for our quarantining together. Anybody else have any updates? This is just kind of a curious time to be in right now. I know that for sure. Don't know really how to process a lot of what's going on. So I'm with you there. Take care of yourselves. Be well, be safe. Make sure to get some fresh air. Do all of this, not just for yourself, but for everybody. And be creative. All right? Take care, everybody. And if you watch this later, go ahead and drop a comment, and we'll be sure to be praying for you. Thanks, guys.